Who are the minor leaguers you should be stashing right now? Find out next on Fantasy Baseball Today Express. Welcome into FBT Express on Thursday, June 26th. I am Frank Stampfl, joined by Scott White. How about that? Some new intro music on the audio side. Hope you'll like it for those listening. Who are the top prospects, or let's say minor leaguers, that you should be stashing right now? Emmet Sheehan of the Dodgers, Logan Henderson of the Brewers, Joe Boyle of the Rays, Bubba Chandler of the Pirates, and Chase DeLauder of the Guardians. Scott, this list has changed quite a bit. It's dwindled down over the past month or so. What do you have on these names?
Well, we got Chase Burns. I was about to call him Chandler. We got Chase Burns getting called up. We've got Chandler Simpson. There's the Chandler coming back. And so that created two new openings. Emmet Sheehan's obviously a new name here, and technically not a prospect, as Joe Boyle isn't, but not established in the majors yet. Did have a good return from Tommy John surgery about a week ago. Struck out 6 over 4 one-run innings. We thought he'd stick around. He didn't. Goes down to the minors. First start back at AAA. Emmet Sheehan throws 6 perfect innings. He strikes out 13. He had 21 swinging strikes in that start, which brings his minor league swinging strike rate this year to 22.2%. He's a bat misser of the highest order. And maybe now that he's gone 6th, the Dodgers can trust to include him in their rotation, which is kind of in a sad state right now. I'll point out Yoshinobu Yamamoto is great. Dustin May, passable. Clayton Kershaw, getting iffy. And then you got 2 openings, basically. You got Shohei Ohtani and Ben Kasparius are kind of piggybacking for one of those spots, but they could use Emmet Sheehan is the point. And I think he's now the top minor leaguer to stash. As a result, Logan Henderson is still here. Of course, he's had 4 great major league starts this year. Has been kind of shaky last couple turns at AAA. 2 turns ago especially. Gave up 4 runs on 7 hits in 4 2/3 innings. They're not really making much of an effort to preserve his workload down there, which they said they would. That was claimed to be part of the reason for sending Henderson down. They want to preserve his innings. They're not making much of an effort to do that. Meanwhile, Quinn Priester's been okay at the major league level. Jacob Mizorowski's obviously been a revelation, so Henderson isn't replacing him. But it just doesn't seem like they're that motivated to bring him back. Still worth stashing, number 2 on the list, but that's part of the reason why Emmet Sheehan's ahead of him. Joe Boyle continues to do his thing. I have noticed Zach Littell and Drew Rasmussen in each of their last turns less than 70 pitches. So it seems like the Rays are wanting to preserve their arms a little bit. Might be about time that they inserted Boyle for a spot start at least. And who knows, maybe he could stick around after that. They've had amazing injury luck with their rotation this year. But Joe Boyle continues to thrive in the minors this year. Bubba Chandler, his last outing Sunday was his worst yet. 6 earned runs in 2 2/3 innings. So I'm beginning to lose, not beginning to, but I continue to lose confidence in Bubba Chandler as a stash for fantasy purposes. His strike percentage over his past 9 starts now, he's only had 15 total, past 9, 59% strike rate. That would rank near the bottom of all major league qualifiers. So I don't know that Bubba Chandler is really pushing for a promotion anymore. If I had a lot of exciting alternatives, he may get bumped from this list that he's been a part of all season long. But finally, Chase DeLauder, a new addition here. Interesting player, interesting case. Obviously, outfield's been a huge sore spot for the Guardians in recent years. Pretty much Stephen Kwan is the only good one they have. So Chase DeLauder, been a prospect for a while now. He just can't stay healthy. There's been a foot that he's broken 3 times. He missed the start of this year with sports hernia surgery. He's sat with injury more than he's played in his professional career. So you do worry, has Chase DeLauter gotten enough reps for this next step? But he is on an 11-game hitting streak now, 400 with 2 home runs during that stretch for his entire minor league career, 127 games, 312 batting average, 18 homers, 910 OPS, about as many walks as strikeouts. Like every time he's come back from one of these lengthy injuries, he's just picked up where he left off. So he may be the sort of hitting savant that would have no trouble taking to a full-time role in the majors right away. I think while he's healthy, the Guardians should take advantage and see how it goes, because they can't be sure he's going to be healthy for long.
Yeah, it honestly makes too much sense. The way that lineup is played this season, they can use any influx of energy, effort, right now. So, yeah, definitely would like to see DeLauter get the call up, and it could be happening soon. Let's take a break, and we'll be back right after this. Welcome back in FBT Express, and let's take a look at the prospects on the periphery. Tyler Locklear with the Mariners, Spencer Jones with the Yankees, Sal Stewart with the Reds, Eduardo Quintero with the Dodgers, and Jacob Marcy of the Marlins. What do you got?
So Tyler Locklear got 16 games total in the majors last year, which I think we can all agree, even for the highest end hitting prospects, that's not enough time for them to overcome the difficulty curve. So I don't think we should judge Tyler Locklear too harshly for those 16 games. I'll also point out the Mariners recently designated Rowdy Tellez their primary first baseman for most of this year. They recently designated him for assignment and have been using Donovan Solano there. Guy who slugged like 380 for his career. That's not a serious first base option for a team with playoff aspirations. So I think the Mariners are due to give Tyler Locklear another look. He has been hot lately. I think he's hit all but 2 of his home runs here in June. Let's see. Yeah, he has 9 total. I think he's hit all but 2 of those in June. And that has been a problem for him. Like, he makes hard enough contact, but not at the optimal launch angles to turn that into power. I don't think there'll be a lot of enthusiasm if Tyler Locklear gets called up, and that's why he's not among the 5 on the verge. But I think it could happen soon, and he could turn into a serviceable roto option. Spencer Jones, his prospect stock crashed last year with a mediocre performance at AA, where his strikeout rate was just way too high. Strikeout rate's still high. It's about 34%, but he's done much better in his return at AA, and the tools are still very impressive. 6'7" guy, big power and also speed. So I think he's worth a second look at Dynasty League. Spencer Jones. Sal Stewart is like a great pure hitter in the red system. He does everything well except elevate to his pull side to max out his power. So the power had been lacking until recently. He's gone on a little bit of a power binge here. He's got that batting average around 320 now. He's always, for his minor league career, he's walked about as much as he struck out, makes good quality contact. He just needs to optimize his swing for power a little more, and maybe that's the start of it. He can play second or third base. I think as soon as next year, we could potentially see Sal Stewart in the majors. Eduardo Quintero, 19-year-old in the Dodgers system. He's played at low A this year. So, full season ball is pretty good for a 19-year-old. He has dominated there. He has put up huge numbers. Power, especially speed. He's got over 30 steals already. And, it takes a lot for me to spotlight a 19-year-old in the low minors, in the sort of league where they're just throwing fastballs. It's hard to know how legit it is, but Quintero, it's reached a point where he's dominated so thoroughly. It keeps getting better. That strikeout rate keeps dropping, that I think we need to take him seriously as a breakout prospect this year. And then finally, Jacob Marcy of the Marlins, formerly of the Padres. He's always been more of a statistical curiosity than a true prospect, a guy who's run very high walk rates throughout his minor league career, but the OBP has been going down as he's climbed the ladder because the batting average has been dropping. He's got a stiff swing that doesn't allow for much batting average potential. And he doesn't hit the ball all that hard either. He's more passive than patient, and that's kind of caught up to him as he's faced better pitching. So the batting average looks like it's going to run low. Can he optimize those subpar exit velocity readings for power? There is some evidence that he can do that, and he's going off now at AAA. He's homered in 4 straight games. And so since he's at AAA, since he has those on-base skills, since he's on the Marlins, it seems totally plausible that Jacob Marcy could get a look here soon. And maybe there'll be enough power and speed to overcome the batting average limitations.
All right, I hope it works out for Jacob Marcy, man. I saw him back in the Arizona Fall League a couple of years ago, and he was the best player on the field. I believe he won the MVP. So still rooting for him here with the Miami Marlins. For more extensive fantasy baseball coverage, listen to our full-length podcast, Fantasy Baseball Today, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere else podcasts are found. Thanks for listening to Fantasy Baseball Today Express, and we will be back again tomorrow. Bye-bye.